All right, so this is a strange one. As you can see from the title itself, it's quite an interesting find. This is coming out of Kotaku. And of course, what are you gonna go on here for video game news? Of course not. Of course not, because nobody on Kotaku or Polygon actually plays games. They look for, you guessed it, Overwatch fapping material. Yes, this is what this person spent the weekend looking at. Last week, I stumbled upon Overwatch porn. I wasn't looking for it. I know as much about Overwatch as I do about sports cars or how to talk to my parents. So you just stumbled upon this, huh? Like, what? Here's the funny thing, right? What were you looking at that you stumbled upon Overwatch stuff? Of course, that's not why we're here, right? This person's hot take on the rule of 34 or 32. What is it? The one where you can think up anything and it's probably, something you can crank it to. No. Of course not. An SJW can't just look at that and be awed, right? Here's where things get crazy, and this is where it's fun. And they'll dictate, this is what you will find attractive. This is what you will use for your pleasure times. You ready? It has a lot of the same issues as the industry as a whole. Para always seems to be portrayed as a far whiter than she is. Bridget is heavily slimmed down, and there's no sign of Zara in a few videos involving Mai. It's clear that people making these videos are very specific, predominantly white and always skinny version of women. That's right. She's complaining about what you're fapping to. So you need to be looking at fat characters of Overwatch. They need to modify them to be bigger, not a more desirable version of the anime character. There's a whole load of people that like those, and I don't think if that's what you're into, God bless you, But I just find this funny that even in the hentai, in the all stuff, they gotta have mama diversity. It's gotta be changed. It can't be what you want. This is so stupid. Literally, this woman wrote a whole article about why she's triggered about people and what they're looking at. I already know the monetization is probably going to go out the window on this video. I'm trying to save it by changing some words around, but good Lord, lady. Like, seriously, you wrote a whole article just to get down to here, right? Like, this is where the crux of her anger comes from. She's like, why is that bad? If that's what these creators and their audiences are into, well, if the blank industry and the game industry showcases conventionally attractive thin white women and over all other body types, races, gender presentations, and so on, then it's going to become the default of desirability. That default in turn affects the self-esteem of people who don't look like that, as well as the general consensus on what's considered hot, which is to say, acceptable.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
So here we go a little bit. There's also a fair bit about nasty homophobia and other phobias that I found amongst some of the creators of Overwatch videos. Apart from how bigoted and wrong it is to be like that in the modern day, it's always dismaying to see it dominated by a-holes in more than one way. Straight men aren't your only audience, Well, they're the kind that pay. Now, she's noted earlier in the story about how these people that have the Patreons for this stuff make like $7,000 a month. Oh, yeah. If you can do this stuff and you're good at it, you could start a Patreon and probably do very well. And there's a lot of Patreons where people are making stuff like this. So good on them, Capitalism, baby. But she doesn't like that. They should curtail to other people It should be opened up to a wide audience. You know, we need to put a Peter on Diva so that it's, you know, more inclusive. There is, of course, a conversation to be had about the sinister nature of photorealistic CGI porn in an age where we can recreate Grand Moff Tarkin and get rid of Henry Cavill's mustache. It doesn't take a genius to know the road we're heading down. And we may already be there with the rise of deep fakes. Yeah, deep fake, that's a video. I'm not getting into that. But I understand what you're saying here at the end about the photorealistic CGI. That, you know, likeness rights, stuff like that. That's going to open up a whole new ball game. But be as it may, and I promise you, there will be people using that stuff to give you Scarlett Johansson and anything you want. The bottom line is, like, what people want to look at, though, for their little happy times, I think, is their business. And I think when you see people like the author of this article, Kate Gray here, get a hold of that, this is kind of the beginning of those, like, attacks on that. You know, you can't, anything you do, right, in your own personal time, you know, this is something this is stuff that's the privatest of private times for people, right? And even that now is being invaded by NPC blue hairs. Your privatest of private times, where you just want to look at what you want to look at and be done, right? Now that needs to be open and diverse. What is going on, man? Can't you just crank it and be done and look at what you want? Not if Kate Gray has anything to say about it. And I would be willing to bet that you're going to start seeing more articles like this pop up, because this is how it starts. It always pops up on a Kotaku, right, or a BuzzFeed, and then one of the bigger outlets will pick it up. And then you start to see outrage, right? And it seems like this is fairly new, Friday at 5. So I would look for more stuff like this to come out soon. And you're going to see attacks on your happy time now. You need to look at the diva with a Peter PP, or your phobia is getting the best of you. That's where this is going to go. I guarantee it, you know, because there's already been things like that. If you don't like the chick with something a little bit extra, well, you're a hateful piece of crap. Doesn't matter if, you know, you like other types of women. The kind that's more natural born. Anyway, let me know what you thought about this idea. Let me know what you thought about Kate Gray. Do you agree? Do you disagree with her hot take on the Rule 34 or whatever one it is? Also, if you have any ideas for movie clips, let me know. It's been a long time since I've watched a lot of movies, and I really like those movie clip videos where people like I've been doing, but I would like to get more, and I can't really think of anything. So if you have any ideas for that, let me know. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.